Morning, Jim. Take a seat, please. We'll start with the class in some minutes.
All right, teacher. But first, I need to tell you something. Please. It's important. I've been doing pretty well with writing and reading in English, but there's one thing I'm really struggling with. When it comes to listening, I just can't seem to understand what people are saying. I try, but everything sounds too fast or unclear. Do you have any tips to improve my listening skills?
I understand. Listening can be challenging, especially when native speakers talk quickly. Most people will tell you to watch movies or listen to podcasts, but I'd like to give you some different tips, things that might not be so common but can really help you. Pay attention, please.
That sounds great. I've tried the movies and podcast, but I still feel lost sometimes.
One tip I'd have is to listen to slow talkers first. Find people who speak slowly and clearly in English. But here's the twist: instead of just listening to them, you should try mimicking or copying how they speak. For example, listen to a short sentence, pause the audio, and repeat it exactly the way you heard it. Pay attention to the rhythm, intonation, and the C's they make. It's important. Doing this will not only help you understand better, but it also improves your muscle memory for the sounds of English. It might feel strange at first, but it's a powerful way to improve your listening.
I've never tried that before. Should I do this with any kind of audio, or are there any specific ones that work better?
Good question. I suggest starting with interviews or talk shows, especially ones where the speakers talk about everyday topics. When you mimic conversations, you're practicing real, natural language that you might hear in daily life. Another thing you can try is, and here's I found one that not many people try, use background noise. I will explain it to you. Find audio recordings that have a little bit of noise in the background, like the sound of traffic, music, or people talking softly in the distance. When you listen to English with some noise, it trains your brain to focus on the words you want to hear, even when there is distraction around you. This is great because in real life situations, conversations don't always happen in silence. You'll often need to listen to someone while there is noise around you, so it's good practice. Of course, just do it if you have already watched or listened videos without any background noise, because it is not easy. So, if you do it at the beginning, then you won't understand much.
Conversations do happen in noisy places, like cafes or streets. Got it. Anything else?
Absolutely. Here's another unusual tip. Listen to songs in English, but not for the lyrics. Focus on the rhythm, pronunciation, and how the words connect. Many students focus on the meaning of the lyrics, but I want you to pay attention to how the singers pronounces words and links them together. English, especially in spoken form, often blends words what we call connected speech. For example, what are you doing? Might sound like what a doing in fast speech. Songs are a great way to hear this natural blending of words. Believe me. Once you start recognizing these patterns, listening will become much easier.
I never thought of that. I usually try to understand the words in songs, but I miss how they connect and sound. So, I should focus more on how it sounds rather than what it means.
Exactly. And here's another fun method. Listen to English at the slower speed. Many audio platforms like YouTube allow you to slow down the speed of a video. When you listen to something slower, you can pick up detail tests you might miss at a normal pace. Start with 75% speed. Listen carefully, and once you understand it clearly, go back to the regular speed. This helps your brain adjust to faster speech over time. And here's the twist once you get comfortable. Try speeding it up. Listening to audio at a faster speed forces your brain to process information quickly. So when you go back to normal speed, everything feels easier to understand.
Allowing it down sounds helpful for picking up details. But spitting it up? I've never tried that. I can imagine it being tricky though. Right?
It is tricky, but it works like a workout for your brain. And here's another tip that's not so common. Listen without saying. Many learners like to watch videos with subtitles, but I challenge you to listen to audio only content sometimes. No visual aids, no subtitles. This forces you to rely only on your ears, and it improves your ability to catch every word. If you're watching a video, cover the screen or look away so you can just focus on the audio. It's tough at first, but over time, you listening comprehension will improve faster. You can start with this video. Stop watching the subtitles or words in text bubbles. Then you will see how much you can understand from this audio. It works very well.
That sounds challenging. I'm so used to relying on subtitles or watching the person talk. Listening without seeing would really push me to focus more on the sound. Any more unusual tips?
Yes, one last one for today. Listen to children's shows or audiobooks. Yeah, you heard well. Now, I know that might sound strange, but here's why it works. Children's shows are often slower, use simpler language, and repeat key phrases, but they still use natural conversational English. It's a great way to train your ear without feeling overwhelmed. Believe me. You can also try listening to stories or audiobooks meant for younger audiences. They still offer great language practice, and because the language is simpler, it's easier to understand the pronunciation and rhythm. It's a less intimidating way to improve your listening. One extra tip, one more unusual tip is to listen to the same thing multiple times, but focus on different aspects each time. The first time, focus on understanding the general meaning. The second time, focus on the specific details like names or numbers. The third time, pay attention to the pronunciation and the way words are linked together. This way, you're not overwhelmed trying to catch everything at once, and you train your ear in different areas of listening comprehension. It works very well.
That's a really helpful strategy. Instead of trying to understand everything at once, I can focus on one thing at a time. It sounds like it will make listening less frustrating for me.
Absolutely. And the more you break it down like this, the more confident you'll feel. Lastly, don't be afraid to rewind and replay. Many people think they have to understand something the first time, but real improvement comes when you listen again, noticing things you missed the first time. Be patient with yourself. Please. It's not about speed, it's about training your brain to recognize patterns in a speech. Well, that's all I can tell you for now. But please, if you liked this video, let me know. Like, share, and comment. I would be happy to know your opinion. Have a nice day.
I hope you liked this conversation. If you could improve your English a little more, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend.